guys, Dorothy here with Done by Dorothy. I'm here this morning and I'm prepping, getting ready to do my video to do our never-ending tag book that we're doing for the swap in Done by Dorothy. And the links to the Facebook group where I'm doing that swap is below. But when I was going through and I, found some, it's a boho theme. So I found some bohemian pictures that I really liked, the coloring and things like that on Etsy, and so I purchased it, and it's not very expensive. Maybe like $3, and you get 8 images. And I could have went and looked for images, and I may do that later and add them. Just early this morning, I didn't want to deal with that. So I just went and found some. And these are by Curious Crow Digitals. Curious Crow Digital on Etsy. And so I was printing them out and I accidentally printed it out on my regular paper, and then I ended up trying to sort of change them up some because the images, when you look at them online, are just so crisp. They're absolutely gorgeous images. And then when I printed them out, I wasn't really happy with them. Well, sometimes we buy digital images and we're not happy when they print out. And you're like, oh, well, these look so much brighter and so much nicer, when I looked at them online. But when I print them, they're, not as clear, darker than there should be, that type of thing or whatever. And in all fairness to digital designers, it's usually not their fault. It's usually a user error. Certain things are made for certain purposes, and when you change those purposes, you don't always get the same results. So as I was printing these, and I went, I'm not happy with that, and I was going to go find a different kit. I went, I'm going to change it up and see what I can do. I've had a lot of people asking about printing, my type of printer I use, the papers that I use. Why do I print on this paper? Why do I print on this paper? So I thought I would sort of do a little informational video with that. So before I get into these images, I'm actually going to go through and let you know sort of what I have. I have an HP Envy 5055. You can buy them on Amazon. If you have Prime, they ship to you in a day. If not, it's Amazon. They never take very long to get to you, depending on how remote you are. The HP Envy 5055, it's economical. It's not fancy. It doesn't have the fax. It doesn't have all that junk that you don't need. It's a printer and a scanner. Point blank. It's all of 5.5, 6 inches tall, by, I would have to look up the exact diameter, but it's not a very big, it's like maybe this wide, so about as wide as my screen by about this long. It's not much bigger than an 8.5 by 11 sheet. I would say probably 14 by, or probably not even that. Yeah, maybe 15 by 13, 11, it's not much bigger. 11 by 14 maybe. It's not very big. It sits on top of a 2-drawer filing cabinet that I bought from Walmart, and it doesn't bother anything. It just sits in the corner. So it's super easy to scan with. It comes with HP Smart that goes on your computer. You click a button, you hit scan, it scans it, you hit save. It's super simple. As far as printing, it prints, it gets done. So, and it doesn't go through ink dreadfully fast compared to most printers. So, with that being said, ink is another question that people always ask about. I had a different printer before, and I was going through about $85 a month worth of ink. Yes, literally $85 a month, because I would have to change cartridges out several times. And you guys know this if you're printing. If you get a digital kit, a junk journal kit, and it is a larger kit, you'll go through if you print it on a high quality, you'll go through a whole entire ink cartridge. If you're using, and this is just a office jet, desk jet type printer. I'm not talking laser or anything like that. I'm talking like inkjet, office jet, desk jet. So I found HP Instant Ink, and I will put a link to HP Instant Ink below. There'll also be a referral code. If you click on that and you decide that you want to do HP Instant Ink, you can get a month's free. Usually when you buy one of their, you have to have a specialty printer that stays online all the time. So, you know, it's Wi-Fi, hooks into your router. It stays online and it tracks how much ink you use, so they know to automatically ship you ink. And immediately, without even being in the room with you, people that are unfamiliar with it are like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to get billed for a bunch of ink. Which is usually traditionally how those type of programs, Amazon Dash, different ones like that, that's how they work. HP Instant Ink is not like that. HP Instant Ink, you pay so much money per month for so many pages, and then once you go over your page limit, you pay so much per set of pages. So HP Instant Ink has 5 different categories of printing that you can do. And I'll sort of read those off, just basic. So they have occasional printing. Occasional printing gets you 50 pages printed for $2.99. So you're talking $3 for 50 pages. You get, after you use your 50 pages, if say you use 61 pages that month. So for the first, your pages are charged in 10 pages at a time over 50. So the 50 to 60 would cost you $1, which would make you paying $3.99 for 60 pages. Then because you used one, that would go into another 10. So you'd get charged another $1. So that would make it $4.99. But that 9 pages from 61, 62 to 70 that you don't use would go into what they call rollover if you don't use them. You have a bank that collects all of the pages you don't use every month, and you can have up to 100 pages in your rollover. So even though you're paying for those, you don't lose those, they go into rollover. And every one works like that. So when I talk about rollover, that's what I'm talking about. Any pages you don't use go into rollover. Say if you had 50 pages and you only printed 25 pages, that other 25 pages that you paid for $2.99 is going to go into your rollover. So that was occasional printing. They have moderate printing, which is $4.99 a month. You get 100 pages, and you get 15 pages. You pay $1 for every additional 15 pages, and you get 200 rollover pages, so you can store up to 200 pages. That's moderate. There's frequent printing, which is $9.99 a month, which is the extremely popular one that a lot of people do. $10 a month for ink is not bad. You pay more than that for one cartridge in your printer. The moderate printing is $4.99. You get 100 pages that you can print per month. 15 pages per $1 for every one you print over 100. And you can store up to 200 in your rollover. That's the extremely popular area for just general printing, people that are printing, homeschoolers, that type of thing. Yeah, there's frequent printing is $9.99. Oh yeah, that was frequent. Oh, that was moderate printing. Oh, I'm sorry, I read you moderate printing was $4.99 for 100, 15 and 200. Pause. I'm so sorry I did that. Frequent printing, which is the $9.99, you get 300 pages to print. And you get 20 pages per $1. So everything that I said this very last category, I actually was on the wrong category, and I apologize for that. The frequent is at $9.99. 300 pages or 20 pages, you get 20 extra pages, and you pay $1 for all those 20, and you get 600 in your rollover. Okay, so that's frequent. Then they have heavy printing, which is people that you're going to be printing a lot. It's $14.99 a month, which is still $15, which, if you buy ink, $25 is about the cheapest ink cartridge you can buy. And that's just for black. That's not counting your colors. You know, if you have 3 different ones to buy or one, you're usually $50 on average, you know, is what you pay. Heavy printing is $14.99 a month, which is $15. That's pretty good. You get to print 500 pages. You get, for every additional 20 pages you print is $1. And you get 1,000 in your rollover. So, let's say you have that plan and you print 700 pages. Okay, even if you print 700 pages, which is 200 pages over, you're still only going to be paying $24. So, you know, and that's 700 pages. That's heavy printing. Then they have a business one, which is a newer one that they've added more recently. It's $19.99 a month, so you pay $20. That's the one I do. I do that because, on average, most people, if you print all the time, you're replacing your ink cartridge once a month. Okay, my ink cartridges were like 24 and 32. So I was paying $56 every time I had to switch out my ink. So I figure my black ink was $24. So paying $20 to get any color, black and white, works. So for $19.99, you get 700 pages, 20 extra pages per dollar if you go over, and you can roll over up to 1,400 pages. So you could technically not print for 2 months, and it saves every single page you don't print. Now, to sort of explain how it works. So I pay $19.99 a month. I get 700 pages. Okay. But say you want to print in high quality, which, you know, if you've printed at home on your printer, you know, you put it in high quality and you burn through ink. Which is why I was going through so much ink, because when you're doing journals, you want to do something in high quality. You don't want to do drafts and have lines and faded marks and all that, which sometimes happens when you're doing draft because it goes so fast, you get that line across it, you know, if sometimes, not all the time, with some printers, it depends on what you do. So I print all of my stuff at high quality. Now, what happens is I sign up, they send me ink cartridges. I put my black in, I put my tricolor in, because I have 2 cartridges in the HBMV 5055. I put the black in, I put the tricolor in. I start printing high quality. 3 hours later, I've printed, you know, 150 pages, and my ink cartridges are empty. Okay? They will, now if I do that in 3 hours, you know, they still have to, they will ship me new ink. So what it does is, as you're using your ink, when it gets to a certain level of the ink cartridge, which is why it has to be on Wi-Fi, they automatically send you a new cartridge. So if you burn through a bunch of ink in a very short period of time and you don't usually do that, then you may be delayed getting your ink a little bit. Usually that's how that works. Now, I usually don't have to deal with that. I get 4 ink cartridges at a time. I get 2 black and 2 tricolor at the same time. And so like when I put, and I've got, usually have 2 there. So like I'll have my ink cartridge in, I'll run out of that, I'll put my new ink cartridges in that I still have because I had, you know, 2 sets. I put it in there. When I put that in, they automatically ship the next 2. By the time I get to the end of that one, my other 2 are here. So that's just how it works. But I wanted to let everybody know that, and I will put a link down, and I will put the link where it's tryhpinstantink.com, and it has a code behind it. If you use that, I get a free month, you get a free month. When I first signed up, I used one of my friend's codes, and when I bought my new printer, I got so many free months of HP Instinct. Anyway, I ended up banking 6 months worth when I bought my printer. So, you know, you may get, sometimes they have deals where, and you may look online, sometimes you can find a code that'll give you 3 months free printing, or, you know, that type of thing when you first buy your printer. So I actually ended up with 6 months. But you have at least that first, you get a free month when you first sign up. And then if you're referred by a friend, then you get an additional month. So you can end up with 2 months free. You can change your plan at any time as long as it's prior to the date that you bill. So like, you know, you could start out with the $19.99 for the first 2 months if it's free. You know, when you're 3 weeks into your once it bills for your second month, go in and, you know, change that back down to your smaller one if you want to, or whatever. So let's get to printing. And I'm sorry for all of that rambling, and I hope I didn't like lose you in the middle of nowhere. So I started printing today, and I realized I was using my regular copy paper. So you can see sort of how dark the images are. I mean, they're still nice, but like up in here, you can't really tell where her hair is. Over here, where her arm, I mean, they're just very, very dark. This was on standard, just your regular run-of-the-mill standard printer paper. 20-pound regular brightness. It was sort of dull. So I thought, well, I'll up it a little bit. And I used a premium paper with 90 brightness, 24-pound. And as you can see, if you just look, the detail is a little brighter. You can see things a little bit better. I don't know if you guys can really tell in the camera or not. You'll be able to tell really in a minute. So, I mean, those were similar, but not bad. So, I'm going to put the regular one over here. So, I thought, well, I'll use cardstock. I used cardstock, and it actually ended up just like the regular copy paper. So, the premium paper actually printed better than the cardstock, but you don't get that thickness. And I thought, well, I wanted them a lot brighter than this, so I only need one of these though, because I actually printed 2 of these out so I would have them. Let me put this over here. So then I pulled out photo paper, and this is glossy photo paper, and printed it, and there you can see the big difference. I mean, look at the difference in those images. Let me try to see. And then even the bottom ones, see the difference in those images? So much more detail, so much brighter, so much nicer. But you have to remember, these are images. So when the designer made these images, and you make images in mind. Images go on photo paper. So, you know, the coloring in here isn't going to show through as good on regular paper, where, I mean, there's just so much more brighter. And that gloss makes that difference. So, you know, that's just something to remember. There's so much more brightness and detail. When you print it, if you're printing images of people at least, you really want to use photo paper because it makes a big difference. And with photo paper, you get that thickness that you get with cardstock, so, you know, you don't have to back it. So yeah, that makes a big difference. So I just wanted to sort of show you the difference in those while you could see them. And sort of run through the printing thing, because I've had a ton of people ask me. And I'm sorry I got those two confused. And yeah, and I bought my HP Envy on Amazon. It's $50.55 for like $79. And yes, I had to change printers, so I had that cost of that printer. However, in my mind, I was spending almost $85 a month in ink. So because I got a free month's ink, plus the months that from my friend referring me, or me referring, you know, using the referral code of my friend, I didn't have to buy ink for at least 2 months. So that saved me $170 then. So my printer was $79.89, I think, something like that. It's right at $80. So by the time they put taxes on that, it was like $85. So, and it was free shipping. So $85, that's what I was spending for 1 month on ink. So I bought my printer and still managed to cover the cost of my ink for 1 month by the cost of my printer. And then turned around and got a second month free of ink. So, you know, from $170 in 2 months, I went to where I paid $95. So I still saved like $85 in 2 months. Now, if you don't print as much, you know, it's going to take you longer to make that much, you know, your money back from saving that. But it is very much, you know, if you are printing a lot and you find yourself running out of ink, you know, and that's not taken into consideration wear and tear on your vehicle to go to the store to get it, you know, the amount of time you have to waste to go to the store, the amount of money you spend when you buy all that extra stuff when you go to the store, or the, you know, the actual cost of your gas and oil and all that with your car. So definitely something worth looking into if you're interested. But I did want to show about printing. So yeah, if you have images, especially of people, photo paper is definitely the way to go, because it just gives it a brightness, a richness that you don't get on other paper. So I will let you go. I'm so sorry to have rambled on but I wanted to sort of make sure that I covered as much as I could, because I mean, I get tons of questions about it. Like, you would be surprised the amount of times I get messages and emails from people, because my email address, donebydorothycrafts@gmail.com, is the link is in the description box below. If you want to send me an email, you know, feel free to. Yeah, so, you know, I will put the links below, like I said, to the Facebook group where we're going to be doing the boho swap for the never-ending tag book. And I will put the HP Instant Ink links, and I will put an Amazon link to the printer that I have if you're interested in that. Yeah, so you guys have a great day. Sorry to have rambled on. It took so much time trying to explain myself. You guys have a great day, and we will see you later on with a new video. Bye.